Hello, everyone. Welcome to my show again at Voice of Australians, Ikigai with Alina. Again, enforcing the name Ikigai, why Captain show's name Ikigai is everyone has a different reason for being, which always motivates us to stay out of bed, work late at night, and achieve something in our life. Either it's family, friends, ourselves, our ambitions. Everyone has this reason, and everyone should have this reason. So that's the mystery behind Ikigai with Alina. And today I have brought a very young entrepreneur to my show. As you always know, that I always bring a person who inspires me and who I learn something from. So today is Hamza. Hamza, how are you?
I'm good, Alina. How are you?
Good, thanks. So, giving introduction of Hamza, he is managing director, entrepreneur of Solar State. Is that right, Hamza?
Yes, that's right. Yes.
And he's quite young. I won't tell your age, but if you feel comfortable, you can tell your age if you want to. And I still remember and how you inspired me. I have not told you yet, but I still remember we used to had a conversation about the sales job and stuff. And then one day you told me that you have started your business, and it was an inspiration for me that you were asking. And so many, to be very honest, always do. However, you did it, and it was quite inspiring and motivating. So, Hamza, tell me how you started. How's your journey? What was the pivotal moment of your life?
First of all, thanks, Alina, for having me here on your show. I was very excited, like whole day, and looking forward for this. Yeah, for me, being like doing something as an entrepreneur. First of all, when you said you don't want to mention my age, I would say to be an entrepreneur, you don't need to be, just stuck to the age. There is no age for entrepreneur, so they can start anytime at any age. Um, my journey is like normal. When I started, it was very peace, calm. I'm same like I'm a immigrant from Pakistan, came here for studies. My parents always had a dream of me becoming an engineer, but somehow from a genetics, I just carried that from my father, the business personality, and all my business. My family's got business background as well. So from there on, I always had, that courage that I'm gonna be doing my own business someday, and that was the only thing I ever dreamt. So that's how. When you're interested in something, your eyes start catching each and everything of that, phase. So that's how it was very good.
Okay, so you said your eyes were catching something, right? And you were doing a job before, right? So, like, how the idea came to your mind that you want to start Solar State, and what about Solar State? Because everyone has this idea, and everyone has their eyes catching something, but from a dream to action, there is a difference, right? From a thought to action. So, how you covered the gap between thought and action?
It was just courage when I started. When I came here, it was ever been, I was trying different things. I was always up for new opportunities, new business ideas, joint venture with my friends. I did so many stuff from the beginning of me coming here, because when I came here, it was me who can now choose my own life and take my own decisions. And basically, like Australia is full of opportunities, and wherever you see, you will find opportunities. I had a lot of ups and downs, and the only thing keeps me going is my burning desire of becoming a businessman, or creating something new, be my own, identity, so that people can actually remember me and my family. So
mm,
that's something I carry, because everyone has a purpose of being. Yeah, even though till today I just try to find what's actually I have been sent to the earth, because every single soul has a purpose. um I still don't know what my purpose is, but I'm always in the hunt, and every day, um, like, the universe is putting me in a direction of, maybe sometime my purpose will be taken from God, and that's where I'm getting prepared for and waiting for the time. So enjoying the
thank
journey
you.
so far.
So true. And thanks for inspiration. And Abdullah, thanks for commenting. The journey was beautiful itself, Hamza. So you have inspired me and you have inspired others as well. So you said about there were failures, there were risks, right, in your journey. So would you mind to take us through the journey? What were the major risks and what were the failures or obstacles you faced?
So many actually, but the only thing I don't want to carry with me in the grave, any regrets, any kind of regrets. There are so many things who came across my way, and I was
Hmm.
really, really interested and about to jump in. But
Hmm.
that was the early stages of me coming here, and
Hmm.
somehow I didn't, pick that,
Yes.
and now I regret for those. But I sit back and relax. I was like, I didn't meant for that. Maybe there is something else, which is my purpose. So that's the thing. Failures is, I don't take failures as, you know something which will put me down. I always learn from failures. And there is a famous saying, I always say to people, um, you never fail. You never fail. You either learn or you either win. As far
Hmm.
as you're learning from the failure, these are just the lessons to build you for the greater cause.
Exactly. You're so right. Because just giving you an example, I had a discussion with a person, and asked about failures that if I'm doing everything right and I was hit by a massive failure, so why I had this failure? And she's like, stock market, take any stock, right? The stock market graph is always up down. It's not like a slope. Take any graph, right? Even if a stock is like performing so well, blue chip stock or anything, it's always up and down. So just to sometimes go up or move forward, you have to move backwards. It's what lessons you take. So, and the second thing that you mentioned, I was just watching a podcast this morning that if you have something in your mind, just try to implement it, because when you would be 70, right, that thought would be stuck in your mind that I didn't do this. So if something you want to do, just take the leap and do it. What's the worst? You can lose, but you have at least done it. So yes, thanks for that. Now, okay, so would you mind guiding us the cost benefit analysis? As in, I know so many people, they don't want to leave. I know you were doing full-time job as well. So they don't want to leave their full-time job, and full-time job is okay, but some people in our community are driving Uber, they are working at 7-Eleven, they are working 7 days at 7-Eleven, and they are like just not growing. So, because they think that if they start their own business or if they go, what they want to go for, they would be losing the income that they are already earning. So, for me, for everyone else, can you guide us about the cost benefit analysis? What you lost, what you got,
Okay, there's gonna
if
be
you
a
can.
there's gonna be a very big explanation on that. Um, I've personally become, becoming more of a motivational and inspirational speaker, and that journey I started with my friends. Yeah, I keep motivating them, telling them what I have got so far, what I have learned. Um, in the end, I just stopped doing it now, because there are people who are meant to be for jobs, and there are people who are willing to take risks, and then they can go for the path of freedom, which is very exciting. um, People are very afraid of going and taking a lot of, taking those um, risks. They don't have any security backup, they don't have savings, they're more afraid. And what leads to that is, what is the main cause is lack of education, lack of their community. Like, you will only implement, you will be exact shadow of who you hang out with. That's a very common saying, yes, and it's true. It's true. you gotta be you gotta be willing to change your friend circle from people who you sit with, and
Hmm.
you have to look out for new connections. For me it was same. When I started, it was very slow curve. I wasn't learning much, and there was no like actual growth the way I want to be. My dreams were always like, when I tell people, they're like, you're crazy. And it's just, being entrepreneur, it's amazing. N- Normal people can never build something great. So yeah, coming back to the cost analysis of starting a business, it's very important. It's You gotta analyze the purpose of starting a business. When I say business is not for everyone, it's certainly not for people who are happy at their current position. There are people who don't want to learn much, and I personally envy those people who are doing job. There is no hassle. They don't have anything to worry about after 5 o'clock, and they know they're gonna get paycheck by the end of month or maybe fortnight. So they have the very best life, and they're enjoying it, yeah, the way they want. But in order to start a business, like, I will say my example, people need to have a desire of doing something great, going out in the community, and proudly can say that, yes, this is me, and I have a voice because I have done something. And this can only be achieved by failing multiple times. And the only thing is, you can don't be afraid of failure, and
Yeah.
it will give you the most valuable lessons you can ever have. um, so people in Uber, and people are working in 7-Eleven, as you mentioned. Security is one of the major sector in Australia. People are doing that, and what they are stuck at, it's they're trading their time for money. Yes, if you are making $30,000 a year or $50,000 a year, this is your worth based on your education, your learning skills, your ability to think strategically, and most of all, creativity. Yes, if you're making $100,000 a month or maybe $1 million a year, this is your worth. So how you gonna achieve that? You you need to be constantly learning, going through the hills up and down, yeah, and coming out again with a better version of yourself. So that requires a lot of, sleepless nights. It's not easy to do a business, yes. But same way, it's very exciting. There's so many reasons I can mention right now why to be an entrepreneur. And it's just something, when I think about those, it is something which always gives me a high, buzz to go furthermore.
Yes, I know. And I really like a couple of ideas that you mentioned over there. And I always mention it in my show as well, that your network is your net worth. People who you know, who you hang out with, you eventually become like that, knowingly, unknowingly, consciously, unconsciously. Thank you so much, Shazel, for appreciating. They said that it's interesting discussion. So thanks, Hamza, for the interesting discussion, for carrying it out. So the second thing that you mentioned, that you have to work endlessly being a businessman or entrepreneur. I'm saying this because I have seen my father is a businessman, and so many people have this understanding or misunderstanding that with businessman, being a businessman, you don't have to work 9 to 5. Yes, you don't have to work 9 to 5, you have to work 24/7. It's
You
not
work
like
24/7.
yes, exactly.
Yes.
So I have seen my father working 24/7 round the clock at 12 a.m. at midnight as well. And but you said so right that everything is compounding, everything compounds. Today whatever you are giving, you get ultimately 100 times more, so which is so very true. And it's always like you are working on the something, your brainchild, which is so inspiring for others as well and for everyone. The next thing, what is your motivation? So like what keeps you going? How, like you told me about your family background and stuff, right? But there should be some motivation, because as a businessman you are not reporting to anyone, no one is managing you, no one is asking you to work, but you have to work
Yeah.
every day 20 down the clock. So how, why?
Mm. First of all, like when COVID hit, everyone was started losing jobs, and I was working in one of a multinational company that was a Europe car. I started as a car wash boy, and I gradually upskill my skills and showed them. And so I was at the point I was promoted to a manager at one of their main branch in airport. That was a kind very nice environment, and I was happily working only 2 days a week, and that was it, because I was at that stage. I was very comfortable enough. No one was, even management knew who I am and how I work, so I was very calm. But suddenly COVID hit, and they didn't hesitate to stood me down for a moment. Yes, so the very next day I got an email that they have to stood me down. That took me, I went into depression after COVID. All the savings starts draining off. So then suddenly I saved up some money, and I was like, okay, everything is gone, so I've got to do something. I have been trying a lot of things in the past, but that was the time i I had a situation of do or die. I Whatever money I had left, either had to invest or save it up for next 4 or 5 months for myself. So it was during COVID, no hope for any business growth, and businesses were shutting down. So I got the opportunity of franchising model. So that was a ready-made business model, in a franchises, where you don't get to, put your brain much. They will come and teach you. That's pretty much it. But when we started, it was an energy sector. So it's all related solar energy, clean environment and stuff. Luckily, being working in Europe car, from car wash boy to becoming manager,
Hamza, your voice
there
is
was a.
cutting out.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Sorry, it was a
Yeah.
really interesting conversation and I lost you, so yeah, continue.
Okay. Sorry, I just dragged too much sometime. So look, my journey of doing a job, that was also good. I get to learn a lot. My sales skills, my public speaking, my customer experience, each and everything led to a person who I was at that time, and I was ready to go. Obviously, all of my ties were already cut off, so I jumped in with the business of a solar. Started very badly in the beginning, didn't done much, but learning every day was necessary, in any kind of business, because all the pressure was on me. We then started. It was a joint venture with my friend, who at the time was living with me. Um, we started. We were doing very good in a sense that I always had a vision, and our vision were totally separate. So then there was a point that we have to be apart. There was no way. And again, I was at a point where I had to rethink of my further path. We chose. I was like, okay, I've spent a couple of years with that business, and I pretty much know how to build up a business, because it was me who was doing all the admin stuff and the, legalities and stuff. So I was pretty confident with what I will be doing next. I started again with the solar state early this year. That was in January. It's going good just through the referrals. By the time I didn't started any marketing campaigns, nothing at all. Um, so yeah, here I am, 1 year down the track now. When I actually contacted you first time, I was very inspired by your posts, and you would keep posting your reviews of customer services and your progress, and I thought I might get some good advice from you.
Look
But
at
yeah,
you. Now I'm
that
taking
time,
advice from you. So, yes, I was your own model. Now you are my role model. So, that's a progress.
yeah, thanks a lot.
That's so funny. So yes, that's quite inspiring actually, and how the way you learned everything. It's like always I mentioned that you just have to be ready, and when the high tide comes, it will take you, right? You don't know.
Thank you.
So no one gets lucky. It's all about hard work at the right time. So yes. Now, uh,
I don't
yeah, go ahead.
say this. I have a
Okay.
different thought. When we say practice makes a man perfect,
Hmm.
I actually pressure that to everyone. I was like, it's not practice who makes you perfect. Perfect practice will make you perfect. So even though you're going on the field doing a practice, you still got to know the what the rules gonna be for the game. Even though you're practicing, you need to know. You're playing a soccer match. Yes, you can't be playing with your hands. Even though you're practicing, you gotta practice in a way which will reflect on the real game. And trust
Hmm.
me, Alina, business, I take it as a game now. This is the most great game. I guarantee, yes, this is the greatest game you will ever play if you're in the space. And that's how I take business. Every day
Hmm.
you gotta improve. You gotta improve yourself. You gotta
Hmm.
come out with the new strategies. It's not just me opening up a shop and start selling. I actually took a very different approach even in my industry. Um, my industry is so saturated now, and I sometimes feel it's too late to be in this industry. Everyone is out there competing each other, and
Hmm.
now I have a totally different exposure in the market. The way I'm representing my company, I'm not selling anything. My purpose is to educate people, because what I have found in last 3 years of being in the industry, a lot of people come and say, just give us this at whatever cheapest you can do, and they don't even know how solar can benefit them and
No.
what are they getting at their home. So
Hmm.
I stopped selling. I don't tell them what's the price and stuff. I start educating people and why they should be going for something. Same with the business. you know if you want to do business, first ask yourself, why do you want to do business? So
Yeah.
that's a whole different approach.
Yes, I'm smiling because I still remember when we were discussing about this show, you sent me a photo of the book that I'm reading this. And I was like, so many businessmen don't work on their self development. They feel like they have started a business and that's fine. That's enough achievement by itself. But you have to learn, you have to keep growing. Otherwise, you become saturated. And the approach that you mentioned, it's in sales world, it's called consultative selling approach, where you ask or try to educate and listen to what others need actually rather than selling your product, so which is really important. Last 2 minutes, I would really like to know your ikigai. So ikigai, as you know, is a Japanese word where we say what's your reason for being. So I know you have covered it in multiple times in the show, but just to sum up, what's your reason for being, and what you think of your future.
Well, as I said, I always think about it every day, and I change my guy pretty much every now and then, it's and I'm happy. Every time it gets
I lost
better.
you, Hamza. I
Can
lost
you
you.
hear me?
I got you.
Hello.
Okay. Yes, go ahead.
So I was saying, every time, my ikigai, my purpose, I'm still in a mode of discovering myself. what who I am basically. And first I get to know who I am, then I'll find out what my potentials are. So yeah, my purpose is being shifted from very common to a person I am now. So I'm carrying a much bigger dreams of helping out people. I became an entrepreneur, and I love I love telling people who I am and what I do, basically, because I'm proud of myself and people who have helped me through, to teach me, my mentors and my agents, my leaders. So now it's kind of a business approach, and I'm taking this as my purpose as well. It's basically educating people, what how phenomenal business can be for their life. And if someone is willing to go and just one step forward, and they are showing their interest, yeah, I'm more than happy to tell them how the things are. And the thing with me is, I used to think if I tell someone my secret, they might overcome me and outgrow me. And then I was like, no, man, I have to keep learning, which I'm doing. I have to be constantly upgrading myself. So as far as I'm doing that, that's it. I have to set my level up so that I can help all below me, or it's not like below me, who needs me basically. um so if someone comes to me and they ask me any question regarding business, I was like, this is my if gives me some, this is a happiness, to be honest, for me. And as far as I can help people, yeah, that's the thing. And I think even though everyone's purpose in the life has to be helping the humankind, truly.
Yeah, so true, 100%. And especially when you said, when you share something with someone, right, you're not losing your thing, because you are a candle. You will always have your inner light within you. You are just lighting another candle to make the room brighter. And at the end of the day, you have to live in the room which is getting brighter, right? So it's not, you are not losing your light, you are making the room brighter. So it's good to take that way. And I have seen so many people who are really big personalities as well. They always, whatever they are doing, they don't hide. They love sharing. Just the other day, I asked one of my acquaintance, and he had a really big business going on, and he was starting something new project he was working on. And I asked, and he was quite honest, and he told me so much detailed about everything that what he's doing. And he was not scared, because he knows that I can't take his talent away that he has, right? So he's, and even other people are quite open to share other stuff. And sometimes we think that we should not share, someone will just snatch our ideas, someone will do something. So we should not be scared. It's always good for helping others, like how much we can help each other just to go ahead, right?
It's like this also. It's building up a connections. Now I'm open to building up connections, and someone who is, you know sold to my dream, what I carry with me, and he's willing to come up on board. Obviously, a single person, I have a limitations. I can't reach to where I want to be. For that, I need a great leaders and people who are 10 times better than me in thinking in with their strategies. So I'm always looking for those people who can come, and that's why I'm always transparent with what I do and what I can do. Sometimes people take it, oh, I'm bragging, but it's more kind of, I'm exposing myself to the world. Because yes, you never know. I personally want to carry a big team with me, and that's how I gonna achieve. Anyone can achieve a goal if you're united. So everything is, written and being said
Yes,
to
of
us
course.
in our early schooling and stuff, but we never
And
think about this very deeply.
Hamza, in the last, do you want to give any message to our youth?
Youth is,
or anyone in general, like whatever.
well, I have, well, this topic was basically regarding journey of entrepreneurs. So I would say if someone is willing and have some courage and even though interested in becoming an entrepreneur or starting something, I highly recommend seeking some books, you know, great books on your specific niche. Reading is most important thing if you want to upskill yourself every single day. Ever since I started reading, I find myself a different person after completing every book. And that that's very, you know, that's a unique feeling of reading. So I promote reading, and I highly suggest everyone, yes, to go out, find some good books instead of, you know, novels and stuff. It's better to learn what's going on in the world. So
Yes, thank you so much.
mm,
Yes, reading is so important. I have been reading since I was 4 or 5, I think. So reading is like really, really important, and I always emphasize in my sessions. And yes, even like if you just want to develop a habit, you can start with reading novels, which is okay. At least you are um, imagining something and using your brain rather than just sitting in front of TV and using Netflix. So, which I'm against of. So, but I use it sometimes. So yeah, that's okay to watch sometimes. But yeah, reading is really important. Start with novels if you want to, but books can change your life. So we have
absolutely.
inspiration in front of us.
Yeah,
So yeah. Thank you so much, Hamza, for coming on our show. And thanks for giving us time and
thank
taking
you.
us through your journey. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alina.
Allah Hafiz, everyone.
Thank you.
Take care. Yeah.
Take care.